How's it going, everybody? Tall Tesla guy here. I wanted to take this opportunity to really take advantage of a weather condition that we have here in tropical Ohio, right? So it's the middle of winter, so it should be expected. I did put a video in there a few weeks back about driving in the snow in our Tesla. Now we have a dual motor all-wheel drive Tesla Model Y, so we should have real all-wheel drive capabilities. Well, I really wanted to test it out in the snow. We only had about an inch or so, but it was kind of slick, kind of wet snow a few weeks back. She did great in the snow. It did a good job of stopping. I noticed that the regen braking did a really good job, a little bit better job stopping the car than, traditional, standard braking does on, I guess, an ICE vehicle, which was kind of a surprise. I wasn't really sure. This is the first car I've had with regen braking, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to handle. Now today we have, sort of a sheet of ice. In fact, I can kind of show you guys a little bit. What I'm going to do is step out. Now I'm stopped in my neighborhood. They iced parts of the road, or they de-iced parts of it, and parts of it they didn't for whatever reason. I want to step out and I'm going to kind of show you guys me sliding around just so you can kind of get a feel for how icy it is. And then I'm going to drive around a little bit, keeping my speeds low because I am in a residential neighborhood where I live. But I want to show you guys kind of the difference between regular braking, regen braking with these really icy conditions I have, and then talk a little bit about how the car picks it up. So I'm going to jump out of the car and slide around a little bit without my ice skates just to show you what we're dealing with. You can kind of see down here, I mean, it is just slick as snot, as my father-in-law would say. It is just ice, ice, ice. I'm just going to drive around the block a little bit, kind of show you what I'm looking at here, and then so we are turning around. Now this is the part that I was just sliding on, right? So now I keep it on a crawl, 10 miles an hour under. The car does fantastic. The tires are gripping enough like they're supposed to, and everything kind of works the way that it should. You can kind of see here that I'm going 7 miles an hour. I get it up to 15 and then take my foot off the accelerator. I keep saying gas pedal for some reason. Take my foot off the accelerator and I do like a little bit of a fishtail. So I think I'm seeing about maybe a 60-40 split in power between the front and the rear motors. When I take my foot off the accelerator, it seems to kind of slow down in the back first and then the front, or maybe the other way around. Not really sure on that part. But when I go is, when I take off is kind of where I notice it. So what I'm seeing is a little bit of a fishtail in the back as kind of the power goes there. And then it seems to balance out with the front, and then it kind of corrects itself. So I'm going to show from the front view just so you can kind of see me slide around a little bit. But, from here you can kind of see, if you just look at the camera part of it. Now I get up to about 17 and then I kind of take off. But what happens is the car is grabbing it and then slowing me down so that I'm not kind of spinning out. So I'm guessing what it's doing is pulling power from, maybe the wheels that are slipping, the back of the car that's slipping, and transferring it to the front. And that's what I can actually feel as the car kind of fishtails a little bit, and then it catches itself. So coming up on here, we're going to notice that as we turn, you're going to kind of see the effect of it. So I'm going to give it a little bit of gas. My neighbor's going to think I'm crazy, all the people in my neighborhood, certainly because I'm filming. But so I kind of get going, and then you see me kind of turning a little bit too. So if you saw me kind of skid out there a little bit. So what I'm going to do up here, I'm going to turn around the corner, and you're going to kind of see me kind of slide a little bit. And this is kind of what I'm experiencing. So if you kind of saw that, I sort of, start to go into a spin, but then the car kind of grabs it. So it's actually kind of nice what it does, and I'm not sure if that's a safety feature of the car, if that's a, way the car is parsing out the power from the front to the back motor, just to make it so that it's not slipping. I know I've had vehicles that have done that in the past, so it kind of does that. And then, driving this morning in this, you saw me spin there a little bit there too, so driving this morning in this, it was a little bit darker this morning. Maybe I didn't know where the ice was. I could see that it would certainly be a little bit tricky. And I did put a video in before talking about let's see if I stop here. Now that's the brake, and I really kind of just slid into the intersection as it did it. So the regen was way better than the standard brake in those situations. But, I talked about it this morning, how the car doesn't really tell you that you're slipping. So you know, in that situation right there, it didn't do anything to give me the indication that I was slipping. So if you're listening to the radio, maybe it's dark outside, you don't know that that it's icy, you're not going to know that you're sliding, other than the fact that you see yourself fishtailing. But in that sense, I was just sliding forward. So I had no idea that I was skidding, or that the car wasn't gripping like it was supposed to. The car doesn't tell you that, which is kind of strange. So going here, I'm coming to an end. If I take my foot off the accelerator, it just slows to a stop, and then I stop. It's when I push I'm going to back up here a little bit. It's when I push the brake that I notice that, it's definitely a more aggressive brake. And that's when I start to, kind of skid, and you hear that, the brakes trying to catch, that kind of thing. So here, I'll see if I can, I won't be able to get the sound, I think, but you kind of hear that as the brake is kind of pulsating and getting to a stop. It's not disconcerting, just because I know I'm so used to the regen braking, it works so fantastic. But I know that if I was skidding, you instinctively go for the brake, and that's what's going to happen. So other than just knowing that that's what's going to happen, it does come as a bit of a surprise. But I'm happy that the regen braking seems to be doing better than the other braking. So I guess, basically, obviously drive safe in all the conditions that you have, regardless of whether it's ice or not. I can say that the Tesla Model Y, the all-wheel drive version that I have, dual motor, is doing a great job of handling the ice. It did a great job of handling the snow, which is great. It just, seems to be, have the features in there that, help protect you from yourself a little bit, especially if you're driving too fast. No, I wasn't driving too fast, but if you were. I hope you guys are staying safe out there. I hope you guys are having a great year so far. I really appreciate you guys watching the video, coming and tuning in every week, engaging with the community, commenting, all that sort of stuff. If you haven't already, you made it this far, think about subscribing, think about hitting that like button. Lets me know what kind of videos you guys want to see, and then you guys have a fantastic day.